everyone, and welcome to Silver in the Stars. We are so excited to bring this show to you today. Before we get started, we wanted to thank our supporters and sponsors. Starting off, we have Start Playing Games. Start Playing is the #1 website for finding games, groups, and professional game masters. Sign up for a new account on Start Playing and get a $10 credit using the link in chat. Next, we have our 2 sponsors that are helping us with our giveaways. The first is Limithron. In addition to creating Pirateborg RPG, Limithron is a map maker known for their ship and pirate-themed battle maps. With over 800 battle maps, each of which is Foundry VTT ready, you can find all the pirate, spelljammer, and naval-themed maps you need. Pirateborg is available for instant pre-order, but will be sailing into retail stores on International Talk Like a Pirate Day, September 19th. Check your friendly local gaming store to see if they're hosting a Talk Like a Pirate Day event, or go to limithron.com to suggest a store to them. If you're interested in running Pirateborg, make sure to check out the new Harbor Master program to learn how to get free swag for each game you run. Learn more at limithron.com. And our second giveaway sponsor is Gemhammer & Sons. Gemhammer & Sons is a Boston-based TTRPG accessory forge and traveling shop of wondrous items. Focused on providing more better game stuff, Gemhammer is the only place to go for decks of many things, critical hits and failures, and adventure guides that direct you to the adversaries and riches that only walking around with a half-orc barbarian can buy. Last but not least, I'd love to thank our partner for this AP series, Warlocks and Waffles, the best and only TTRPG morning show airing Mondays and Fridays at 8 a.m. It features 2 of our cast members, Ginny Ruiz and Hunter Fell. With all of that said and done, let's start the show. Beacon Galaxy, a shimmering collection of stars in the vastness of the empty. At its core, the Forge, a coalition of planets, a pinnacle of highly advanced technology, shining civilization, and cooperation. That is not where our story starts. We are in what is known as the Dim, the outer reaches of the Beacon Galaxy. It is here where there is no governance. There are no laws to speak of. It is too far spread and too wild to properly adhere to any sort of government or system. So it is here where the best sort of smuggling can be done, the best sorts of secrets can be traded, and where there are many jobs for those who are discerning to a degree. Our crew has just finished one such job and finds themselves in a tavern. A little bit dingy, a little dusty, but they've got grog and food aplenty. As we zoom our camera in on the table where they are seated, who do we see? We will start with... Actually, let's do rollies for this. Everyone go ahead, roll a d20. Let's get a roll out there. Highest will get to go first.
Oh,
We're started strong.
Okay.
I got a 9.
Woo!
17.
17.
I'll use the one in here.
Oof. Oh, Calvin, burn that nat one.
A very lazy 4 on my part.
Very lazy 4. I don't know, Pierre, can you beat that? Can you beat a 17?
Hopefully. Sorry, I lost my dice on alchemy.
Oh no.
Yes. I don't know where it went. I'm so sorry.
No, you're totally fine.
Do y'all know how to add back dice? Because I don't know where it is.
Oh, like it's going away? I just
Like
hit the
it's-
middle
like it's
circle. If you hit the middle circle, it brings
Yeah,
them
if you
up.
hit the middle button with the logo, it should pull up dice.
Yeah.
Let's see.
okay, there we go. Sorry, it glitched on me, and then it kind of just went up and down a whole bunch of times.
And improving the volume.
Ooh!
Nat 20!
Hey, you
Oh.
can beat a
Weapons of
17.
the spectrum.
Amazing.
Work for that 20.
Amazing. So we will start with you. What does your character look like? What are they doing? How are they enjoying the spoils after a job well done?
Pyrrhic is all limb, tall in every aspect of her body. A little too much. Waist tightly cinched in a much too thin corset. 6 arms, ending in long tapered claws
Hello,
that are just
bees.
kind of all politely folded in her lap. She's sitting very properly upright, and it's hard to tell where she's looking because she's got this mask over her many eyes. She can see through it, but it's very hard to see her eyes on the outside. And she's just quietly watching her companions.
And what are they doing? Let's see. The next one we had was Ben, who is quite the opposite from Pyrrhic. What's Ben doing? Like, does he even fit in this tavern?
That's such a good question. I feel like Ben is in the tavern, but definitely had to come through like a loading bay door or something like that. Something for the delivery ships to use. And so he is here. He doesn't really sit at tables. He's just sort of like a little ways away, just sort of like sitting on the ground. And I imagine them bringing out like
Hello,
basically a
bees.
cauldron as a bowl for him. And he's just like eating like a cauldron of soup.
What kind of soup would Ben eat? Does Ben eat like typical food, or does Ben eat rocks? This is a genuine question.
Ben eats anything he is given. He learned long ago not to question where the food comes from, and just you eat it when it's in front of you, and that's about as much information as he needs about what's going into it.
This being the dim, this being the outer reaches of the galaxy, that is probably a very good attribute to have. Food can be scarce. You're outside of like the farming land, you're outside of the main trading hubs for food and goods. I would like Ben to make a toughness roll to see how this soup is sitting.
Okay.
Because you got the scraps. If they know that you don't need proper food.
Yeah. That's very fair. Let's see. Does that work?
Excellent. An iron stomach.
Non-natural.
Through and through. You see this hefty bovine woman with yellow fur, orange hair, little tusks sticking out from her lower lip, as she just plops this cauldron of who knows what in front of you. It is well seasoned, whatever it is. They definitely put salt in this. That's about the only flavor you're getting, though. It's filling, it's warm, it's cheap.
Just kind of taking, don't have like a spoon or anything, just kind of taking big handfuls, dumping it into my mouth. It's getting all over me.
Just everywhere. And
Hello,
as we
bees.
kind of pan from this quite interesting sight in a corner of the tavern, we will go to Ben's friend, Ariel.
Ariel is standing very, not like alert, like a soldier, but there's no like casualness. Like, I think for Ariel, like the job is done when it has retired. Their work is never done. Work is always moving, and I think because there is always work, there is never a time to rest. Like from far away, like she looks like a normal human, with like kind of long blonde hair, like white. But getting closer, you notice that A, Ariel never blinks, and B, their eyes are a creamy gray-white, the iris around the pupil, which is kind of like a telltale sign that maybe something a little bit more is lurking underneath.
Very human.
Yes, definitely. Obviously a very human.
Are they partaking in any drink, any food?
They are, because I think Ariel's like the one who's always on edge, because I can't blink. I don't like, not even I can't. I don't have to blink. So I guess everyone can enjoy themselves, and I'll do the hard. I don't even think they think it's hard. Like, everyone can enjoy themselves, and I'll just stay alert. I'll do that.
Amazing. I love that. The sentinel of the group. I love that for her. We will move on to who is next. Oliver, are you even in the tavern, or are you with your beloved ship?
I'm definitely in a corner. I'm here, but I'm like in a corner, furiously jotting down notes so I don't forget them. I do blink a lot because I look like I haven't slept in a very long time, and I am just there with a little tablet, just like remember something, jot it down. If there are crackers or something, like I wouldn't eat anything that it requires too much effort. Something that I can fist into my mouth to not interfere with the process. And just looking up if somebody I remember something somebody did, and just kind of going back to what I'm doing, mumbling, and that's about it. No, just a scruffy looking dude that is just clearly too tired, and just sustaining himself with crackers or bread.
Bar peanuts, the bowl of bar peanuts you've kind of hoarded to yourself.
Are they shelled? I don't know. He just shoved them into his mouth.
Oh.
And he's too focused on the process.
Make a toughness check.
Damn it! I walked into that one, didn't I?
You did.
That's on me.
I don't think you walked into it. I think you made it yourself.
That's fair. That's a completely fair.
You fabricated this incident.
I did that.
Oh.
Yep. Okay. It's like Ben's, but without the zero.
Oh.
So, is there liquid near me? I think I would. I'm not stopping, but I would drink something. So it would definitely be like.
You have something stuck in your throat, so you chase it with more fully shelled peanuts.
I think the first one would be that, actually. So, all right, I would see if I could unclog it with more, but then I'd realize that's not good. So I would definitely try for water or whatever liquid is nearby.
There's grog. It's
sure. Whether it's for me or
swill.
someone else's, I would grab it and shove it in. Just.
I'm gonna say with a roll that low, you have chipped a tooth.
Wouldn't be the first time. Got it.
I will let you pick whichever tooth you want to be chipped.
If I get that freedom, it's my least favorite tooth, so I'm fine.
Okay. Which one is your least favorite tooth? One of the back molars?
Yeah, it's one towards the back, but not far enough back where I need it for chewing. So it's in between, not for ripping and tearing, and not for chewing. He's thought about this before.
Oh, my least favorite tooth. Darn.
Yeah.
As you are horking away at these definitely not shelled peanuts, legumes of some sort, we will pan our camera over to Calvin. What are you doing?
Yeah, so Calvin, basically looking like a cyberpunk android playing dress up as a pirate. Sort of just observing all the organics curiously. Sometimes getting a bit of twitching as they maneuver about, just sitting very still, but their head is pivoting. Sort of watching the scene, observing Ben with their giant mug tankard. Is it a barrel of soup?
It's a full cauldron.
Full-on cauldron. Which is fascinating to watch. I will have to keep that on record. But yes, I'm keeping my ocular sensors well trained on everybody, absorbing all the organic information I can.
Amazing. I will have you roll Make a presence roll for me, please.
I
Just as you're sitting and
will.
observing.
Think I clicked the right thing.
Oh, excellent. Wonderful. I will say, as you are sort of taking in this scene, you have committed it to memory, almost like some bizarre, grungy Renaissance painting. You will be able to recall this moment in eternity. This is a little cross-section of, for lack of a better term, humanity. You are seeing your one friend enjoying a cauldron of soup, your other crewmate trying to dislodge their choking peanuts with more peanuts. You are... Oops, sorry. We got a donation. Yay. You are just taking it all in and making note of the organic condition, just how people, again, for lack of a better word, because some of these aren't people, just how people are interacting with each other, how they are spending their downtime after a rather tough job. You all enjoy yourselves on this. It's mid-afternoon. It's not quite party time in this tavern yet. There's enough people around. The barmaid, that bovine, yellow-furred, orange-haired individual, will come around, give you drinks, give you more soup as needed or as requested, clear the peanuts. She will bring you a shelled bowl because you are creating far too much of a scene, Oliver.
Fair.
And I will say, after about 20 minutes or so of you all relaxing or keeping watch, as one of you is, your cabin boy, and we call him a cabin boy, this is a full-grown man. This is a grown-ass man. But he is the youngest of you all. So you call him cabin boy, comes running in. He is this short, if this were D&D, he'd be a kobold, very lizard-like, long snout, teeth, and he has this gleam in his eye. He come running in, he's got his satchel, and he runs up to, who am I going to pick? You will run up to Ben, because you are the easiest to find. And he will kind of in that sort of shouting whisper go, hey, bless. I got something, but we gotta go right now. This is Tim Thrawkins, your cabin boy.
Ben just sort of like sits up, takes the cauldron, dumps it into his mouth, and then turns towards the rest of everybody and just sort of nods towards him, gets up and starts walking back through like the back of the tavern to get to the service door again.
No. You will make your way to the back as Tim is like kind of gesturing the rest of you over to sort of gather and move out. Do you all heed this, or are you taking your time a little bit?
I think I go through the service elevator with Ben, so he doesn't have to do it alone.
Oh, that's really sweet. Take a point of inspiration. That's adorable.
Okay.
I hate to be
you
difficult,
two are
but
riding
yeah.
the service lift down to the ground.
I hate to be
Say that you
difficult,
were
but
wrong.
I wouldn't notice. I need unless somebody taps me on the shoulder or something like that.
Oh no. We will
I
get
would-
back to you.
I would probably take note of our companion not paying attention. I've been watching the whole scene.
Mhm.
Hey. The boy Tim has told us that we must go.
I grab peanuts. I grab the bowl. Like I know, like
Shove them in your pockets.
I'm grabbing the bowl and I'm balancing my everything, and I just start walking while I'm still writing. And I just like close enough. You ever follow somebody just close enough to be aware of them, so you don't have to pay attention to where you're going? Like I'm doing that, so I'm not actually looking where I'm going, just staying close enough, so I could no, I'm not gonna walk into a wall.
Don't worry, my ocular sensors will be enough for both of us.
Oh, I love
Right,
that.
I write
How you
that.
doing?
I clearly write that down. Like
They can see for two.
seeing for two. Okay. All right. Yep.
Pirk's just trailing leisurely behind them, kind of keeping an eye on Oliver, like maybe like gently reaching out a hand and just like nudging one way or the other if he strays like too close to a chair or something.
Excellent. So we have the two in the elevator that is currently heading down to the first section. We'll say this was almost like split level isn't quite the right word, but it was 1 story up top, 2 stories at the bottom. So the main entrance is up on what would be the 2nd floor. To get down to where like the service chute is, that's kind of in like the basement area back around. So that's where you two are. The other 3 plus Tim are guiding Oliver out. And it is at this moment I would like everyone to make a presence check. Just to see what might be happening beyond your little bubble.
I got...
Nice.
What's like the... you know how like people are like, oh, it's a dirty 20. You got a dirty 1. Got a dirty 1.
An absolutely filthy one.
I got the dirtiest little 1.
A dingy 1.
With a negative 1, I got a 7.
Yo!
I could get pretty filthy with my 1.
I'm with my best friend right now, okay? I'm thinking about all the fun things I'm doing with my best friend.
Thankfully, we got 1 person from each group that's listening out. That's Ben and Calvin. You begin to hear the sound
Can I just say,
yeah.
Ben has a -3 to presence.
Ooh.
And he still heard this.
Ben didn't put any focus towards being like smart.
Oh no.
I'm so
yet, it
average.
must just be the resonance in this elevator as you are heading out, as it opens. The 2 of you will hear the beginnings of faraway footsteps, very many of them, probably a dozen or so, and they are heading your way. What would you like to do? We'll start with Calvin. How do you react to this sound?
I think I just immediately pivot to Oliver and Burek. My ocular sensors seem to be picking up footsteps entering our facility. You should be aware of someone approaching.
Tim looks decidedly nervous as he all but shoves Oliver out the door. Says, we gotta move, we gotta go. I told you, no waiting.
Footsteps approach from the south corridor.
Is someone coming to challenge us? Is a challenger approaching?
One?
Yeah, sure, we can call it that, as he's like kind of just shoving the group. He is so small compared to you all. So he's just like trying in vain to get you all to move, and it is just not working. We have to go, we have to hurry. Come on, let's not tarry, let's get back to the Terry.
Ben just goes, and then just keeps following.
Ariel goes, I voted for something else, but I guess. I voted for a different name.
Amazing. The ship, as the crew has called it, as we approach, as they are heading towards it, it has so very many alien characters along the side, indicating a name. No one here speaks this alien language, but it kind of looks like it spells out Big Boy Terry. So that is what the crew has opted to call it.
I put away my tablet in respect as I gaze upon it. And I'm like,
Wait, can I add something, Rosie?
Oh, absolutely.
You're more than
please.
welcome. Shoot this down. I think just because of who Ariel is, Ariel knows exactly what this is, but I'm not gonna rain on their parade. I'm not gonna do that.
Amazing. I accept that. That is brilliant.
Yeah.
As you are all heading to the ship, you are now kind of at... It would be docks if there were water, but it is kind of these platforms that jut out into empty space over a chasm, and your ship, Big Boy Terry, is just kind of hovering there, bobbing up and down in the air. In this sort of more open area, you can now see there are about 10 people heading your way, and fast. If you don't want to make some new friends, you best get the Terry up and running. What are you doing?
is anybody gonna make the first move? Who's gonna?
I think
Who's being
Ariel
one?
Ariel jumps into action like a very efficient, effective soldier, and just starts climbing up these masts and letting down sails. But has is ready to shoot someone though. Is ready. Has a second hand placed on they're kind of in Pirate Borg, it's a flintlock pistol. I don't know what it is in the context of space.
It can still be a flintlock pistol, or it can have lasers.
Okay.
It's space.
Flintlock laser? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Laser?
On this
Ooh, that sounds
laser,
good as hell.
Yeah.
laser gun.
It's ground up red crystal that you have
Yeah.
packed in there.
It
Yeah.
shoots the spark of light through a crystal, and
Yeah,
Amazing.
but it is ready to fire if need be, and is doing the agility work to get these sails down.
Excellent. Make an agility roll. Let's see how
Okay.
well this goes for Ariel.
Let's see. What is my agility? Oh, I thought I was more nimble than I was. Oopsie.
Oh, no.
Actually, no, I'm good. I'm good with agility. I'm fine. That is a 14.
Excellent. I will say that you have no trouble jumping onto the ship, getting those sails started. You are one step closer to being able to escape from whatever is chasing after your cabin bro, Tim. Who else would like to engage in some sort of action?
I would be doing whatever, because if anything comes, is going to get into my writing time, so I'm just kind of reflexively kicking a rope to untie this, and it's very you're doing closing at a job that you're just
Oh,
just
no.
rumbling and moving whatever, untying whatever needs to do to help get us going, setting coordinates. It's all just
Go ahead and roll spirit or presence just to see how inadvertently you are able to help.
Oh, thank you for giving me spirit, because that's the only thing that is plus.
Oh, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Son of
buddy.
it's a 7. I'm still just thinking about what I need to write down.
You are so into your writing.
So I am
There's-
very distracted right now. It's just
Oh no! With that roll, I'm going to say you don't even realize it's
Make
happening.
things
But
worse.
as you kick one of the ropes, it has tangled around your ankle, and you're just dragging it around the deck.
fair. Once again, not the first time. Okay.
No,
Yep.
and Tim knows enough to look out for this. He's begrudgingly kind of and going after you and recoiling the rope, but making sure you don't trip over it. But it is wasting a little bit of time. Who would like to engage in another action?
Be better.
Be better
Please,
than
please
poor
be better.
Oliver.
Can I do an action to just curse and be
Yeah, free action.
and just
Cursing's always a free
I'm
action in Pirate
pulling
Borg.
I do think Ariel believes I'm carrying this crew on my back.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And it's and it's probably in a bad mood, and so it's being invigorated by seeing someone fail. We all fail, but Ariel's taking it personally for some reason.
Oh no. Pyric, what are you doing?
She does not appear to be taking it very seriously. She's kind of just moving, almost dancing around the deck, just kind of checking things here, checking things there. She's keeping a sharp eye out for anything that might impede them going forward, once they've been untethered and everything, though. She wants to make sure that they can just go forward once they're physically able to.
Amazing. Go ahead and make a presence or agility roll. Oh, excellent.
There
You
you go.
are like a ballerina, so graceful, and those extra arms certainly help in getting things prepared and ready to launch. I'm going to say that you have aided in getting your crew further along against the ticking clock that is a crowd approaching you, looking, now that they've gotten a little closer, not too pleased. They look downright pissed. Calvin, what are you doing?
Well, it seems from my calculations we are wanting to expedite our de-docking. I suppose I will start prepping the ship to immediately launch. picking up where Oliver has been distractedly not
I'm going all the right places. I'm just doing it bad. So
so I'm following in step. Like, oh, hold on. Very quickly going in.
Make a agility or presence.
better than a 7.
Be better than a 7.
The bar is nice
I'll
and low
do
for you.
presence because I'm better at presence.
Oh no!
No.
Oliver has made such
hey, that
a
is
mess of
better
things.
than a 7.
It is better than a 7.
It's better than a
Yeah.
7. But Oliver has made such a mess of things that it is taking just that much longer.
I imagine I'm swinging upside down by my foot, like the rope got pulled up, the sail is there, and I'm there like,
At this point,
and
yeah.
I put that down. I remember that we're doing
The only
something.
reason you notice it is because your inkwell falls out of your pocket and shatters on the ground.
Yeah, it's digital. It's all digital, but it's for like the vibe. I have
For
that.
aesthetics.
Yeah. So then I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
I put it back in my coat, and then I untie myself. I fall. It's just
It's such a mess.
What if like someone was like a foot from you, could have untied you, could have helped you out? Just
No.
Probably.
no.
Especially if that little guy's following me around.
Probably Pierrick, honestly.
Yeah.
The Tim's just looking up at you like, come on, man. Ben, what are you doing?
So based on the way the ship has been described, I'm envisioning it being like an older ship. Like,
oh yeah.
this is not a like a high-end spaceship that we're flying around in. This is a 95 Corolla. Like that's sort of what I'm envisioning.
It's scratched up. It's dingy. Yeah.
It's got character.
If that's
it's
the
got
case,
character.
I'm envisioning this ship being like it has character. It is it's a little slow to like launch, like getting it moving is a little bit more difficult.
The thrusters are 100 years out of warranty.
Yeah. So as Ariel is like up there thinking about how she has the whole crew is being carried on her back, Ben is literally on the ground with his back like pressed up against the ship, like just moving backwards, pushing the ship towards like the launch. And then we'll just like grab onto the side and pull himself up once we're like clear.
Ooh, make a strength check or agility, whichever Ben is better at. I'm assuming strength.
Strength, yeah.
It's intelligence.
Big boy. There's two big boys.
That
the
is.
bar is so low. How is
it's so low. I have a +4 in strength.
Oh gosh.
Damn.
Oh man.
Oh, we're about to make some new friends.
Ben is questioning what was in that cauldron.
Oh no. I'm gonna say you actually like go to make that running jump up onto the ship to climb up, and you just slip and fall back, and from your prone position looking upside down and backwards, you see a bunch of boots headed your way. I'm gonna roll for them.
Oh no.
Gosh, alchemy froze. Okay, that's not what I meant to roll.
I imagine my tablet falls out of my pocket, and you see the last line I wrote as I'm recounting of that. It says like, it appears that being covered in oil from our last mission our last score might have been proving our downfall. As maybe we're just all real slick or something. Maybe that's the reason we're all. Whatever our last gig
so
was,
slippery.
Yeah, we're just all incredibly slippery from whatever the hell we were taking last time. Because there has to be a common denominator of why this is we're so not doing good right now,
including the other crew. Maybe one of those buckets or barrels of oil that were on your ship spilled on the docks because they're having quite a hard time. They have not quite caught up to you.
Everything in a 3-quadrant radius is slippery right now.
Slippery
like, everything's just a little slick, a little sticky and slick. It's just not great.
Sticky and slick.
Right? It's just wrong. It's just wrong.
It's wrong. But whatever it was valuable. So.
Can I try to toss like a rope or something that Ben can use to like pull himself up? Because I'm gonna need him on the ship.
Yes, make an agility roll, please. So good. Excellent. The rope lands precisely where you want it to. Ben, there is a rope now hanging right above your face. Would you like to use strength to see if you can climb onto the ship?
Yeah, let's do it. There we go.
Beautiful.
That's
There we
better.
go. Yes. With the aid of the rope, you are not slipping and sliding so much anymore, and you can easily hoist yourself up and onto the deck.
Excellent.
Ariel, what are you up to as you are now successfully unfurled the sails?
I'm most likely then helping Ferric pull Ben up.
Excellent. Make a strength check, please.
Okie dokie. That is, I'm like, it's either a 7 or a 1. It's a 7.
Oh.
Let me add. No, I get to add to a minus. It's a 6.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'm sorry that I'm smart. Nothing else.
You realize partway through straining and pulling that this really isn't your bag, and you let go of the rope. Ferric's got this. Ben's got this. The rope's attached to a mast. It's fine. You have other things you could be doing that are better suited for getting the ship to launch. Oliver, how you doing, friend?
Where's my tab?
You looking for your tablet?
Yeah. And I start looking at the kobold because did he take it? I mean, not the kobold, but I start looking at them. Did he move it again? Did he do it?
And he has his hands on the side of his head, staring at you, pleading with his eyes to do anything to help.
I make a mental note that I'm gonna be very angry at him later. Is there anything obvious that I have spent most of my life on or around ships? Is there anything obvious that's like, oh, if we just blank, we can get out of here? Can I roll something?
There's
or is there anything?
a real big red button by where there would be the steering wheel for the ship. And that is, what ignites the thrusters to get the ship moving.
Okay.
Ben has already done the sort of roll it down a hill to get it to start aspect.
Okay.
As far as kicking the boat off from the dock. But if you want to try to get those thrusters going, make a presence or spirit check, please.
Okay. I stare at the button. The button stares back at me. And you hear the cogs turning, but then all I can do is like it's me, button, me looking back at Tim, going, did you giving him the eyes of, did you take my tablet? Like it's just like it's like ADD. It's like
in your pocket.
No, it's right here. Okay.
Press the button.
I found it.
As we pan away from this chaos, Calvin, what are you doing to help get the ship to launch?
We're so slippery. We're so slippery.
It seems my efforts to try and follow in step with Oliver were not working. So this seems like immediate aggressive action that I must take.
Okay.
I will shoot at a rope.
Okay. Go ahead, make a presence check.
Let's go.
Hey, that just beats it.
Yay!
Woo!
Aggressive action!
Aggressive action. Explain what happens now that you have shot this rope.
Yeah, so the rope is deeply knotted from the mess of feet entanglement and my attempts to untie. My typical form just is not used to this sort of situation. So out of frustration, I just shoot the rope to get it frayed apart so that it can untie and allow the ship to launch.
Amazing. Love that. The ship is now beginning to drift away from the platform. The thrusters are still not started as Oliver stands there over the red button.
I'm right there, y'all. I'm literally right next to it. I'm so sorry. Junie's sorry.
Tim is going to slam.
I was trying to push an entire ship and failed. You couldn't push the button.
The rolls, y'all. The dice just do not want you to have a good time.
It's a
The
condition.
dice are setting the
Here
tone.
it
I'm
comes.
having a great time.
Yeah, the dice are just setting the tone for what can be expected from this group.
Oh, yes, the most human group.
Mhm.
Tim is going to slam his little clawed hand on the button. And please say that it starts. Yes, with a kind of the thrusters ignite and you begin to slowly, ever so slowly, move away from the platform. The other group, how close are they looking? Come on. Oh, no.
Real slippery.
Real slippery.
Oh no. Oh. Oh, I
Not
didn't.
slippery at all.
Oh no, they're
They
more
just
sticky.
slid on
They got-
in.
That's an oh no in our direction.
Oh,
Yeah.
they got traction. Oh, damn it.
No, one of them using the oil slickness. You see this. It's almost the same species as Pyrrhic, it looks like, except instead of extra arms, they have extra legs. And they are using the momentum to carry them along this slick that leads right to your ship as they jump and latch on. And climb
I
aboard.
immediately shoot at them. Immediately.
Okay, initiative! Let's see. On a 1, 2, 3, the creepy crawly spider dude gets to go first. On a 4, 5, 6, you all get to go first. That is a 5. You get to shoot. Go ahead and fire.
Oh my gosh. This is also me opening up Pirate Borg for combat rules. Panic is setting in.
Put on some combat music.
Okay.
Yes. I love
Okay.
combat music.
I just roll a d20, right?
Should be yes.
Okay.
For
Oh my God.
initiative?
No, the initiative is as a group, so you all get to go
Oh, okay.
before the foes.
Okay.
And then you all can decide narratively who is in what order.
Okay. Great. I am going to roll this dice. That is a 7.
Ooh, it goes wide. Who would like to take a swipe or get in a better position tactically?
I was already in violence mode, so I shall whip
Go for
out
it.
my, I believe I have a musket as one of my starting things as my buccaneer.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just make sure, because I got fun stuff when I'm shooting things. Sheet. Alright. That is, I decided to roll physical, 19?
Oh, yes, that
Natural
does
19?
hit. What is the damage rating on your weapon? How much damage does it do?
Yes, so a musket. Trying to find my stuff. I had it all in my sheet at one point. I know as a crack shot, with being a range, it's a minus 2 DR, and then my musket is... There it is. Call me. I think it's 2 2d8. So let me roll that.
Is this a
28?
traditional musket or is it a laser musket? Because we're in space.
Oh yes, so you see what you think is initially might have been a pistol that Calvin pulls out. The front of it just extends out into a bit more of a musket shape. Alright. Let's roll. So that is a 8 total.
Woo! You dang near blast this alien off the side of the deck, but they just have too many legs, too many grip points. So you have effectively very nearly blown a hole through them. It is not pretty. They're looking very, very, very hurt, but they're still kind of clawing their way up onto the deck.
So if they're clawing their way up this ship that I care about,
Your ship.
they're putting their filthy hands on this ship, their oiled up hands. I would definitely go up to them and just like I have a hammer. I have hammer and nails for random miscellaneous ship repairs that I have to do. But I would just take my hammer. I was like, and just like hammer a hand or bonk them on the head, whatever cartoony situation to get them off of the ship. Can I do that? Are they close enough for that?
Roll.
Or okay.
Yeah, for sure. The ship is not terribly big.
Okay. Strength. And here we go.
Oh,
15.
Excellent. That does hit.
We figured it out, y'all. If it has to do with the ship, I care more, and I definitely roll better.
We'll say, does the hammer have a damage rating?
No, because this isn't its intended use. So I'm super like.
Make this. We'll go D&D rules. Let's make this a D4.
A D4, D6, something like that. That makes sense.
Let's make it a D4.
And
that tracks.
That's a 1.
You hammer down on one of his little claws, and he makes this screeching noise as he kind of reels back and waves it as one does when you hit your thumb with a hammer. He just snarls at you, and you see way too many teeth. He's got like that predator style mouth where the bottom jaw hinges, and there's just way too many teeth, and just it is not a pretty sight. And he is bleeding, and he is angry, and he is going to actually lunge for you since you are in melee when it is his turn.
That's fair.
But we have 2 more people that can go before that. Pierrick or Ben, which one of you would like to do something?
I don't like that someone else is cringing on my multi-limbed.
There can only be one.
Yeah, there can only be one. So I'm gonna dance my way over, and I want to aim my rapier specifically for one of their legs.
Ooh,
they don't need all of those.
Yes. Does your rapier have a ability that it asks you to roll with? Just a straight up roll.
Don't believe so. Just
that
my fighting style.
D20 minus their armor or something like that. It was a D4.
They have no armor class. They are just kind of in cloth. They have no armor, so just make a straight roll. Excellent. You hit. And what is the damage dice on your rapier?
8. This wouldn't be considered one-on-one, would it?
Oliver is also there.
Am I though?
I'm
here.
though?
I'm here, but does it count?
Can say this is one-on-one.
It's one-on-one if you don't consider Oliver helpful.
Oh.
Okay.
That's just reality of the situation. That's just I opened that door, y'all. Let's just be real.
No.
One foot's here, one foot's in the story. So let's just
Ooh. 8. That's almost full damage.
That is an incredible amount of damage at this level. You managed to slice off 2 of his forelegs in a elegant, swift, just and he shrieks out, but he's still attempting to climb up onto the ship. And you can see now that you're rather close, this is not what would be a medium-sized creature, because I'm stuck in D&D terms. This is a large individual. If they were to stand at their full height with all of their legs, they would be about 12 feet tall. They are not tiny, and they are still climbing up onto your ship. Ben, what are you doing?
Ben just sort of rolls over from where he was and gets up, pulls, kind of stuck in his side. He just pulls this big piece of wood out that's like a giant piece of broken mast. And he just looks at this guy. He just goes, "You not dead? Off ship!" And he's just gonna swing the mast at him. So he's going to use his ability that I have named Swing at a Mast. That is a 7 though. So that'll do nothing. However, I'm going to use one of my Devil's Luck to re-roll one, because why not?
Use that Devil's Luck.
That is a 10.
10 does not hit. You lumber over and you go to swing, and this creature is, despite being rather torn to bits at this particular moment in time, has enough sense to be a little bit faster than you. You swing just a little too slow, and they duck under. They almost laugh at you as they glare at the group in front of them. It is now their turn. Who are they going to go for? Because they have quite a selection in front of them now, as several people have moved into melee range. I'm going to say... I'm going to roll a d4, reroll on a 4. A 1 will be Oliver, a 2 will be Ben, a 3 will be Pierre. Because I want to roll some dice. That is on Ben. Good luck to this guy.
That's fair.
They are going to... It almost looks like, whereas you had swung a mast at them, they kind of gather from behind them a harpoon that looks like it was made of a mast from a much smaller boat. It's got kind of that tapered edge towards the top, and it's kind of chopped off roughly at the bottom. They are going to go ahead and swing at you. You're making your defense roll. I don't get to roll anything. This is on you.
Oh, that's right. Let's see here. That is... defense is agility, right?
Should be yes. Yes.
Agility.
Oh, buddy.
That is a nat 1.
Oh, no.
Not my son!
Oh,
My
wait. Does it have to be your turn to use Devil's Luck? Can anybody use it? Could I use it?
That's a very good question.
I believe because you can use it when it's affecting somebody else's roll too. So
Odds or evens, Junie?
odds. I'm almost positive I saw that, but I could be wrong.
Let me look it up real quick.
I thought it was that you can use it because you could use it to make like a.
It does say reroll any die roll as one of the uses of Devil's Luck.
That is fair. I'm trying to find it. This document is really big. There we go. I found it.
Yeah, every lower damage, neutralize a crit or fumble, reroll any dice roll.
Yeah, it doesn't say. Yeah,
it doesn't say if it's on your turn. It just says you can do it, right? So can.
Yeah.
After like 6 hours.
That tracks for me.
Yeah, go for it. Table ruling, whether like it doesn't explicitly say. There is like lower damage dealt to you.
Yeah.
But then it also says reroll any die roll. So
And
yeah.
any is bolded.
Any is bolded.
There's one that's bolded and underlined.
So am I re-rolling my defense?
Yes. Junie will spend the Devil's Luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend the Devil's Luck. Go for it. Yeah. As I definitely.
Oh gosh.
That is a 9. I hate digital dice so much.
I'm sorry. You will.
As you were probably going to defend her, I'm like, because my like stylus for my notepad was right under your foot, so you were like, huh? Like move just enough. I'm like,
Did you grab your stylus?
Yeah.
And with that sort of shuffling movement to the side, you avoid the brunt of the damage, but you still take a rather nasty swipe to one of the roots that is embedded in your side.
Hey, it's better than taking the fumble of a defense roll.
Yeah.
Double damage and your armor is reduced by 1 tier.
Yeah.
God.
Brutal.
And that is it for his turn. We are now back onto Ural's initiative. Who would like to do something? It sounded like Madeline might have something.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. The you said 3 points of damage, right?
3 points.
But then I subtract my armor from that.
Yes.
So mine is a -2 for my armor. So I
Excellent.
take 1 point of damage.
Beautiful.
And actually, I have a different feature. So I actually take no damage because I have a conquistador helmet. And
Yes.
so I have a feature called "Were You Distracted by My Hat?" Ben has a very nice conquistador helmet. All damage is reduced by 1.
Is it
so
just
he takes
a pot that's
no
on his
damage.
head?
It is absolutely not on his head. It's like definitely a necklace or something that is a conquistador helmet.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
for sure.
Fit on his
Um,
head. Fit on his
It's
head.
probably also not a conquistador helmet. It's probably just a thing that he's picked up and is like, this is cool. And so he just carries it with him. But he thinks it's his lucky charm. He thinks people get distracted by it in combat and don't hit him as hard.
So rewinding just a smidge, this creature attempts to swipe at you. You move out of the way so Oliver can grab his stylus. And as he goes to swing, a glint bounces off your lucky charm and makes it so that he just completely whiffs on the strike.
That's incredible. I
No
love that
damage
so much.
taken. Amazing. Love this. Top of the round to you guys who would like to do something.
I'll do something. I have a
Go for it.
concept. What I'm going to do is I'm still like in the rigging a bit, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of like let myself down a bit. So I'm kind of just like maybe swinging like on a rope near a mast, and I'm gonna yell out like, "Hey!" to get this guy's attention. So that way, if the people it's like looking at me, and the people in melee range will hopefully have a better chance at attacking it. And I'm gonna roll to shoot again because all I know is gun. Apparently,
I know gun and smarts.
I know gun. I know brain. I know thing. Okay.
Go for it.
Maybe that's a bit better. I got a. Does a 10 do anything?
A 10, again, it just misses. As you're kind of letting yourself glide down the rope and you're shouting, there's just a little too much going on, and you barely miss as it whizzes past his head.
Okay.
Who would like to do something?
I want to take more of his legs.
Go for it.
No!
What is that?
Oh my goodness.
Your weapon could break, or you could drop.
I'm gonna use one of my devil's luck.
Weapon. Okay.
I want to use one of my devil's luck to
Do it.
do that. Oh,
Yeah, critical fails in this are rough.
Unforgiving.
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna So
Beautiful. That hits.
there.
Much
Go ahead
better.
and roll the damage.
Oh.
I'll also say that Tim has been setting coordinates this time.
That's
11 points?
That's not right.
Okay.
That shouldn't be possible. That
Anything
also
is
should be possible. What did I do?
It feels like
Okay.
a modifier of some sort.
That's accurate. That one's accurate.
Okay. Oh, because you had the one-on-one, you deal +1 damage. I mean, you could.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
D8
looking
plus
at
+1 plus your strength score is what it's
You
rolling.
just rolled really high.
Yeah.
We can go ahead and take that 11 if you feel comfortable with that.
Oh
You
yeah,
rolled
sure.
Max damage, yeah. I will say you must have just recently sharpened your sword, because these slices are making contact and going through like butter. You take his other 2 legs and one of his arms. He is hanging on by one clawed hand, and where there was anger before and determination, there is fear as he is bloodied and hanging on to those last little threads of life.
How does morale work? Because I have a skill called Intimidating Presence, which means that enemies in my presence have a -2 to morale.
Morale. This guy has an 8 morale. What does morale do? I can't
How much
think
they want to mess with us before they give up and turn around.
Most enemies will not fight to the death. You roll 2d6 for morale. If the leader is killed, half of the group is eliminated, or a single enemy has only 1/3 of its HP left. If you roll greater than the creature's morale value, it is demoralized. You roll a d6 to see if the enemy 1 through 3 flees or 4 through 6 surrenders.
Excellent.
Demoralize them.
Demoralize them.
Make fun of their legs.
Oh no, their lack thereof.
Oh, you have one less leg now.
I mean, he's down to like one leg or no legs, I think, at this point.
Oh no.
He's down to no legs and one arm.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So
Just
would
the-
that would I
Just
be
the
able
guy from Monty Python.
to roll morale to see if maybe he just gives up because I'm
Because he is that
slowly
hungry
taking
to
his
get
limbs?
life.
If I were him.
Go ahead and roll that morale. That's a d6.
I think it's 2d6. Um,
It's just a flesh wound. Oof. That does in fact beat his current morale. You will again see he has turned to fear, and as he is missing 5 of his 6 limbs, he is going to kind of give one last glare up at you because you've done the most damage.
and I have all of my limbs.
And you have all of your limbs. Look at all my limbs. He will let go and fall back onto the platform as you all begin to drift away and out of range of these enemies. The rest of the group comes and skids to a stop, some of them kind of gathering up their fallen comrade. The rest just kind of staring. A few stray shots graze the bow of your ship. Nothing that hits any of you as you begin to sail
Do
out
we recognize
of
these
the
people at all? Like,
Ooh, make presence check for anyone
Okay.
that wants to see if you recognize these individuals.
I'll roll
Sure.
it. I mean,
I,
See what happens.
I'm a dumb idiot. I rolled an 8.
No, Ben!
Ben got a -2.
No!
Those are people.
Ben!
Those are...
Ben is swinging his mast over and over it again at the severed legs on the deck, just like stop fighting back.
The little like twitching limbs. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh
no.
man.
My god. No one except
Does Ben
Kieran.
recognize himself in the chat?
Ben has an existential crisis.
Ben sees his own reflection. He's like, I've become my father. Oh man.
Oh my gosh. Keurig, you have been doing this for a while, and you hold people's faces in your memory. This, you have determined, is a rival smuggling crew. You haven't had many interactions with them, but they do run in your circles. And they certainly know who you are now.
Just kind of look at Tim, just like, so what did you do to cause all of that? Because normally that doesn't happen quite as instantly.
And he will kind of sheepishly smile before reaching into his little side bag and holding up. And this is going to be so dumb because I know a bunch of you are playing Baldur's Gate, but it looks like the relic that Shadowheart has.
For those of us that don't know what that means, could you describe it just in case?
It looks
It-
like a giant D20.
Yeah, it's an icosahedron. It is smooth metal. There seems to be several intricate looping lines through it. He holds it up and says, "This leads to treasure," they said. I overheard. I took it for us. He's just got this big smile on his face.
That's fun.
I
It is
snatch
very
it from
fun.
him. Can I snatch it from him?
Make an agility check. Because you're so good at those.
I need this. I need this one, y'all.
Come on.
Oh.
Hey, yeah, you are able to
17.
snatch it.
I
Yes.
snatch it, right?
Excellent.
I'll snatch it and then reach into my other pocket and I pull out what looks like a very broken compass, right? And then I hold the compass over it and I just go, oh, he said it leads to treasure?
Yes.
And it's like, does it lead to treasure or no? And I use commune where I ask God, I ask The thing I'm devoted to my story. I'm devoted to the story, the great story. And this compass has led me to it's never led me the wrong way. So I'm just asking God right now, does this lead to treasure? And I have to roll. I have to beat a 12 or an 8, I think it was. And this is whether or not we're going to throw him off the... yeah, I rolled high, so it says yes. Well, I mean, you tell me it's in the affirmative.
Amazing.
So it's either in the
Yes,
affirmative or you inform me something in the negative, but it is to read it specifically how it is worded. Tesper DR8 asketh thy deity a singular yea or nay query. Thy response may be unclear, or thou may receive no answer. But I ask it, does it lead to treasure? And I rolled high enough to, if it is a yes, you could tell me the affirmative. But
you have communed several times. You are very devoted to your story. You have never received a response quite like this. It is almost as if someone is screaming in your head in jubilation. It is the most strong affirmative yes you have ever received as the compass begins to spin wildly and then point stock still in one direction. And that is where we'll take our break. All right. I have lost the page I was looking at. That's helpful.
Oh no! I think you said that we were all hanging out. Nothing was happening.
Yeah,
Nothing bad
no,
happened.
you're just having a great
I think we
time.
found the treasure.
Yeah, actually,
You
yeah.
found the treasure. Game over. Yeah, we don't need 4 episodes to resolve this. We're cool. Everything's fine.
we did it. We did it together equally.
No, we left off on Oliver communing with his story, which is also his god. It's a little bit fuzzy as far as what's going on there. But it seems to have a pretty distinct direction on which way it's headed. Is my volume on? Yes, my volume's on.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Gemhammer's in chat. Thank you again, Gemhammer.
Hey, Jim Hammer.
Woo!
What's up?
You are now pointed in a direction that this compass, it is stock still. Normally a compass will have a little bit of list as you hold it. This is as if there were the most powerful magnet pointing it in one direction.
I move the thing around to see if it's that. I start running around the ship, like running up to go to where the wheel is, going down. I'm just moving to every way to see if it's still like pointing in the same direction, and then I'll eventually come back very winded. I will eventually come back. We have to go here. We gotta. And I'm gonna run back to the front of the ship, and then I'm just gonna point like a child, like
We gotta go that way.
a little to the left.
You're just standing on the front of the
Yeah, I'm
ship,
standing at the
giving-
front,
giving
pointing. Yeah,
directions
I
from the
know this
front.
is not how it works, but I guess to emphasize the point.
I look around the shoulder just to look at the compass, and I say, he means northwest.
In space?
In space?
Yes, I don't know. It's a compass.
Oh, but
Look
yo,
at the compass with the cardinal directions of north, south, east, and west.
yes,
That
yes,
is
though.
fair. That
It
is
is
very
it is that, but that's the thing. It is that type of compass. It is a spinny compass with cardinal directions, and we are in space. So you're probably going like, what, how, what? Yeah, that
Oh
is
my
also
goodness.
a problem because there's 3 dimensions, and this is one. But I am positive. I
He
am
has
so
to-
positive.
He has to like move it up and down as well, and like twist
Yeah, just
which
like,
way he's
ooh.
holding it and stuff.
I have a very. I know how to work this, so it is. I'm positive where it's going.
Turn it, flip it, and reverse it. Yeah, you absolutely know which way you are meant to go. If not from the physicality of the compass, you just know in your heart where to go. And you're pointing. I'm imagining like one knee up, like on the.
Yeah, I will say not into space, but behind me onto the ship. I will throw the D20 thing because I will in my head think it's useless now.
Oh gosh!
I will chuck.
Can I try to catch it? Can I please try to
Please,
catch it?
make an agility.
Okay.
Make an agility roll as Oliver throws this.
I have the important thing.
Garbage.
I think it's garbage. I have the thing that's important. I already got it.
Four.
A 4.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Can I
Oh my
try
God, are we
to
gonna lose
save
the
it?
thing?
Yeah, I think
Rosie, would this be a good opportunity to introduce something about my character that I absolutely forgot about, which is that he has a pet parrot.
Oh my gosh! Yes. Ben's
It's
pet
been asleep
parrot
in a
and
nest
Pyrrhic
in his
make-
neck.
Ben has a tree thing that grows
Yeah.
out of his shoulder, and there's a nest in it that the parrot lives in.
I knew about the
But
parrot too, and I forgot about the
I absolutely forgot that I had it. In the like rolling of stuff for like what do you get at the beginning of making your character? Ben got a parrot.
Ben did get a parrot. I will have both your parrot and Pyrrhic make agility rolls. Whoever
Oh
rolls
no!
higher.
What is
Yes,
the agility for
doodad.
the parrot?
Swift. It's swift as a parrot.
I don't know
It's
what a
swi-
parrot's
we'll call it
agility
a
is.
+1. We'll call it
Okay,
a
this is
+1.
that's a 12 then.
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh.
Oh man.
So yeah, it would be one more. So the Pyrrhic, you reach one of your slender arms up, and it actually touches your fingers as this colorful.
It's
Mass
absolutely not a
effects.
normal parrot. Like it
No.
is some like horrible like
Baseball crap.
alien wilted like yeah.
This
It's
mottled
horrible.
mess of multicolored feathers just swoops down with a as it grabs the icosahedron from your grip, and it roosts up in one of the masts, just kind of pecking at it and staring down at you, almost with malice, but not quite. You can't tell; it's a parrot. Are you staring
Oh
up
my
at the
goodness.
parrot?
If you
Keep it for
had
now.
broken that right away.
Oh, is it something that could break? I just assumed that like.
Yes!
Oh no! I
Oh.
don't know what it is.
I just thought we would lose it, which would also be very bad. But like, I didn't think about breaking it. Oh damn!
Gosh. Oh, y'all are good. The
I-
parrot now has the thing. What do y'all want to do?
Oh, Ariel is seething. It's like you don't know what that is. You can't just throw it over your shoulder like it's trash.
I'm too busy looking into the distance towards adventure. I don't notice what you tell me. I
Let
don't
him
notice being
brood.
scolded. I don't notice being scolded right now.
Ariel throws her hands up in the air and does just like, and he just sits down and is like.
Actually, though, thinking on it, we probably should get it from the bird. It's. I don't
Yes, we
just
should.
not just drop it off of the mast.
We should
Uh,
observe its
Ben-
contents, because
Ben just kind of looks up into the mast and just goes. Parrot like gives this like, and then just flies out from the mast and like into the tree.
Why
Ben
isn't
just
there
kind of, like-
animal handling? This would be so good. The parrot you forgot about is totally willing to listen to everything you're saying.
He's my pet. He's great. I love
He
him.
is your
I
pet.
don't know what role it would be to make
What's
him do
his
it.
name?
But
I've
his,
been waiting for that one. Yeah.
his name is Bord.
Bored.
Bord.
Okay. Board will come back down with the icosahedron in hand, and it almost like as he alights, it drags him down because it is quite heavy.
Mhm.
And you almost have to catch him as he comes barreling towards your face. Make an agility
enough.
just for fun.
Oh no.
I'm not gonna have you strength catch a bird and crush it.
Well, that's a
Oh.
4.
You attempt
Comes
to
barreling
align-
towards me. I just bat it out of the air.
It's a reflex. Like, "Ugh!"
We have talked about this bird.
yeah. Never learns.
Oh
Bird goes
man.
flying across the deck. Kind of.
We're
making
fighting.
very sad noises.
This is some hilarious shenanigans. This thing's gonna go off the ship, and nobody stole it or nothing.
It
It's just-
hasn't fallen yet.
Oh, no.
Tim has started scrabbling towards this chaos. He's probably like one step away if someone else wants to try to intervene as the
Oh my
icosahedron has gone
goodness.
sliding across your slick but sticky deck.
Yep.
Again.
that
It's
Calvin,
slicky.
Calvin will try and step over to pick it up.
Please, Calvin, do something.
Calvin, make an agility check, please.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
I believe in you.
Dice being so mean. Hey, there we go. You are able to pick it up with ease. You walk over calmly and just kind of pick it up. It's an interesting trinket. Amazing. It is heavier than you'd imagine it. It's got a very, almost as if there's extra gravity playing on it. It is dense. Go ahead and make a presence roll to try to figure this thing out a little bit.
All right. This object seems to have interesting properties. There we go.
Ooh. It's fascinating. You look at it and you look over and your ocular sensors are kind of tracing these fine lines that are all over this shape. You can't quite make sense of it. It is rather pretty and it seems to be of a high technological make, but its use and make elude you in this moment.
Just start tapping at it.
As you tap on it, you hear a couple of sounds like when you get an error message on your computer.
I tap my head first and like.
Ding.
We're all so smart. We are so smart.
Oh,
We're doing it.
Alice, I seem to be having some sort of interface with this item. Maybe you might be better at this.
When that's said, I immediately jump to action because I'm like, we're like this. I'm like, we're the same. We're like this person. This is the only person on this boat who understands me. This ball of light. Yeah, and I kind of run over and I'm like, what happened when you tapped it?
It did a
We're brilliant. We are.
There is one brain cell.
This intelligence. This is
now.
intelligence maximized by technology. This is the future. We've done it. I love it.
From the branches, the board just goes.
I have a question for you, Rosie. Because I'm a conduit, I was wondering if I could like plug into it and
Ooh, that's so cool.
yeah, because I am technically a giant computer.
Make a presence roll at advantage.
Okay.
Spirit, since you're trying to like connect with it.
I would have just put it in my mouth. I would have just eaten the damn thing.
All of that is a 12.
Perfect. You begin to like tap at it with your fingers, and you, because you are so very not human, are able to like sort of spin it and rotate it within your hands quicker than anyone would imagine, especially for the weight that it holds. And you get a couple of those noises, and then as you sort of trace your finger along one of the designs, you get a ta-ting noise as it almost starts to read a diary to you. You hear a log, like you hear the lines of a log that detail many, many months spent hauling and hiding a vast amount of wealth. From this log, you do not get a location, though you seem to have that already with your human compass at the front of the
In
ship.
space.
At the prow, in space. But it does detail, as you're sort of like continuing to trace, almost as you trace along, you're getting a timeline that you can go back and forth through. The etchings are their own timeline on the surface of this shape. There is an incredible amount of wealth. You hear is such an odd word for it because no one else is hearing anything but you plugged in and tracing. Hear tell of the treasure being stored in multiple locations. You hear towards the beginning of this trail, what you surmise is the beginning, talk of a battle with a fantastically large creature, bigger than a planet. And as you sort of like kind of like almost like a turntable where you're sort of like rewinding and fast forwarding and going through and getting information, you surmise that this is not quite a map, but could be used as such if it were in the right place at the right time.
With that, I look to Calvin, and I'm primarily asking, like, can we split this? Because I'm afraid if I take in too much information, I might but I'm look to Calvin and go, do you think you can take some of this information in you too, at all?
Of course. This android body can hold much information within the megabytes. And just the screen sort of pops forward, and there's like a USB port inside the face.
Make a spirit or a presence roll just to see how well you interface with this.
Okay.
Do it at advantage since Ariel has sort of shown you the way.
Do presence, because that's better.
Okay.
And then try my second roll.
Oh, very nice. Since you have a little bit more bandwidth, you're able to sort of scroll through more slowly, and you start to hear a couple of names. These are names that are old, like centuries old. Long famed captains of the planets, of the cosmos, of the empty, where you now find yourselves, the space between the branches of the Beacon Galaxy. You know that on the spare asteroid or rogue planet that exists out in this vast emptiness, people have been known to store things, whether it's fuel for long journeys away from the solar sail's capability to be near stars, or wealth, since the dim and beyond in the wilds and the ash don't have much to speak of, and who in their right mind would send their wealth through the taxation of the forge and the glow? You know that out here there is treasure to be found, and you seem to have stumbled across quite a large hoard of it if you can find it. And it does seem like you can with the tools available. It just might take a little while. With a roll that high, I will say that as you're scrolling through the logs, you know that the beacon has 6 arms. You were in the dim section of the scythe, the farming section of the galaxy. This log notes that this treasure can be found between the scythe where you were and the tail, another adjacent arm. You are in the correct section of the empty to be finding this treasure.
From my understanding of this archive, we're actually not too far off from trying to find this treasure.
Not too far off. Like it's near.
It will take some time, but from what I'm processing, we're in the right area.
Galactically.
And Dariel's thinking, like, so we have this compass. It was pointing northwest. So galactically, I'll say to Calvin, is this treasure on the correct plane that we are on right now?
Oh, as far as like up, down, access? Calvin wouldn't know, but Oliver's been fiddling with his compass at the front of the boat and like shouting, shouting instruction as where he wants to go. Yeah. And Tim is just like, we good? From the helm.
Part of me is like, I don't want to give this back to Oliver because I'm really afraid that it's going to be thrown away. So,
you could give it a shot. I don't know. I don't want to tell you how to live your life.
Maybe we must calculations in its head, and it doesn't like those outcomes that could happen.
Maybe if we present this as an archive story, someone's story, maybe Oliver would be less impulsed to toss the item.
I run those calculations again with that factor added in, and I go, I'm so happy you're on the ship. I turn and I hand back all over the the little doodad, the dingaling, and go, this is really important to the story.
Rosie.
Yeah.
I know we had talked about my compass if it was because there is a relic that is a broken compass. Is it that or no? Because if it is, I have to roll for it. Because I was using my thing. So there's two things. There's the compass roll and then my god roll. So I just wanted to know, do I need to roll for compass?
I will say, due to the nature of this, you can just continue with your god rolls.
Oh, because there is, if I roll something with the compass can't be used again till next dawn. So that's why I was like,
usable in perpetuity. Now that you've sort of figured it, now that it has its own purpose, it will continue to enact on that almost of its own free will.
Okay. All right.
Free will. Compass. As one does.
Yeah. I will still be paranoid. This has never happened before, so okay. And I'm gonna put it in my satchel to keep it safe, just in case my compass needs to be reminded of something like notes or something. So this is unheard of, so I need to make sure that I don't forget anything. So, but then I will be yelling back at Tim to go left. And I'm keep pointing. It's just a lot of pointing. It's a lot of aggressive
type
pointing.
In new coordinates, and he's excited for the adventure, but also like this is really stressful.
It's very aggressive. Oliver's not
Your
usually
left
this
or
aggressive.
the ship's left or port? Like what? You gotta use the right term. Port.
I'm shaking.
Port side, Captain.
I translate.
Right in a spaceship though would be different because you can't say it's starboard like that's towards a star. Like it's got to be something different to right, but port is left.
I use my data bank of information to tell Tim what to do.
It's a lot of feelings. You have to combine
star cluster.
you have to combine arm movements. When it's left, is it how high like the pitch is, because that also dictates like altitude, like pitch, like literal like angles. So it's like it's all the right information, and I think a computer could discern this. Like anything, it's just like would be able to discern like he means literally like at this angle.
It's
so
like
that
when
makes
you're
sense.
in the car driving with your dad, and he doesn't understand the GPS, but you do, so you just tell him which way to go.
Correct.
Yep.
This is the right vibe here. Yeah.
This is the vibe. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find a page, but you all can keep going as I search something. If you want to learn more about the dingling doodad, because I never gave you an actual name for it. That's cool. You can try to surmise a little bit more.
Okay. So you said we're in like this kind of empty space, right? Between areas?
Galactically, you would still be within view of your branch of galaxy, of the site, but because you were on the outer edges, the stars are getting quite dim the further away you get. It honestly looks a bit distant, like how you can see an arm of the Milky Way at night on a really clear night. It's about that distance from you all right now, where it's still very present, but you are quickly heading into the empty, the space between arms where there are not stars, maybe an occasional lone dwarf or some rogue nebula, but it's called the empty for a reason.
Got it.
I kick like a box that probably has something very valuable, like I'll probably hear something break. I kick it over to sit down, and so I can start writing. It's just like, before we anything else, and he takes the thing out. It's like, what are we calling this? I have a short list, but I'm gonna need to. This is sometimes I pitch you guys names for things, so it's just like, what do you think?
Did Calvin or I pick up like on an actual name and like
Oh. In
Designation.
all the logs that
Find
you
like a
perused.
file format.
Mhm.
yeah. Did we get the name of the file at all?
JPEG, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're saving them in JPEG.
Yeah,
That's
they're
right, I
old. This
needed-
is centuries old. They
Yeah.
didn't have the technology.
That's why I needed
Um,
Calvin to help me because I can't open.
It's a bitmap.
It's a full web
Fantastic.
page file.
Oh,
This is so
no,
good.
in the way that one might write Dear Diary when they're writing in their diary, this just has log dates. There is no reference to the object itself because it holds itself. It holds this story. The best you can surmise is it is a device. It does not have a designation. Calvin, you rolled slightly higher. I'm trying to think. This would ping your memories. The closest thing would be data storage / a map file. Something that would be used to input coordinates into a ship. A much older ship. My bad. My misspeak. You know that you've seen things like this before, but they are so incredibly rare nowadays that it's an oddity, to be sure. Especially to have both file types existing within this one device.
It's like GPS directions on a cassette tape.
Kind of.
And try like we're in Teslas trying to like play that format.
I mean, you're in your Honda Civic.
Yes. So I have it
the
under.
Honda Civic
it always-
plays cassettes.
So
Well,
I have
always
it
a
under
CD
my
player.
chin. I have it under my chin unceremoniously, right? Or is that like, okay,
Sure.
so treasure knob,
No.
and I cross it out because nobody reacted the way I hoped. Hold on. This is so stupid. Mystic hex orb.
No.
Jeff.
No.
Ben just raises a hand. Goes,
Ariel just no. No, we're not.
You're giving him a decision, and
No.
he can't look.
Ben just raises a hand and goes, rock.
I underline that like 3 times.
I let his hand go up so Ben can suggest something. I just don't want to call it Jeff.
I wasn't voting.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
No, he was offering up rock.
Okay.
Calvin, Pierrick, do you have input on this?
DSD, data storage device.
Ariel loves that.
See, I was quite fond of Jeff.
That's 2 votes for Jeff.
Well, Ariel, this is like the ship all over again.
We got 2 votes for Jeff and 2 votes
Exactly.
for DSD. Ben, you're the tiebreaker.
Board says rock.
So
All right.
2 votes Rock, 2 votes Jeff, 2 votes DSD.
I stand up because I stand up. You hear the box go over. It probably broke something else very valuable. It's just like, so, what if it wasn't a rock, right? And so, like in the story, what if it wasn't a rock, but it's a person, right? So, Jeff Rock, comma DSD, and we make DSD like a dentist, like it's like a title, like Esquire or something like that. So Jeff Rock DSD.
That sounds like a horrible comedian.
No one's telling him no. No one's telling me no.
JeffRock.DSD.
Jeff Rock.
You can call it EST. I will not ever be referring to this as Jeff ever.
It's Jeff
Oh,
Rock.
man.
You have to say the whole thing.
Jeff Rock
It is a
DSD.
DSD. It is not Jeff.
Jeff Rock's
Rock.
DSD.
It is a data storage device. Not once did the name Jeff come up in the data storage device. So I don't even know
might be a
who
rogue
Rock
Jeff.
is.
Storage device. You don't have to call a storage device a storage device.
It's not a
Let's
person,
imagine-
it's a storage device.
That lacks imagination, just calling it what it is.
Do not call
Programs to have
I'm
imagination.
literally writing down things as you guys are going back and forth.
Yeah.
Part of the
Well, I'm
story.
sorry, I was born without imagination. Some of us have to work harder at pretending than others.
Were you born?
Here's the thing. If you're talking about it, would you want to call it a data storage device and have someone know what it is and potentially want to take it from us? Or would you want to call it Jeff? And then they don't know what they're looking for if we're talking about it.
I see you're suggesting a pseudonym so that no one can know what it is.
Exactly.
Ariel,
No one's going to hear Jeff
throws
Rock
his
and think
hands
of
up in
this.
the air. Ariel throws his hands up in the air like, fine, we'll call the blasted thing Jeff.
Jeff Rock DSD. Carry on.
Y'all are so ridiculous.
Now that that's
Organics are
settled,
fascinating.
now that that's settled,
Time to for something.
I look at Calvin like, you don't have imagination, do you?
I mean, I process a certain amount, but organics seem to have interesting ways of moving through life that I do not quite understand.
Exactly. And I feel like I'm losing my mind over here.
does anything happen if I lick Jeff Rock DSD?
Oh my
Just curious.
God. Make a toughness check.
Okay. Just curious.
At disadvantage.
You have the flu.
There's no way that this wouldn't happen. At least,
We all perish. The end.
What a wild way to begin the story.
Or end someone's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
Not-
goodness.
Oh.
An 8
So the
on
best
par.
it could be is
Uh-huh.
an 8.
So,
Make your secondary roll just to see if it can get worse.
oh, that's right. Oh,
Yep.
I didn't even hear the advantage disadvantage part. I just was like, oh no.
You're making
Oh.
a very decided choice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's an
2
8 regardless.
8s. It was destined to be this.
You, you lick Jeff Rock DSD.
You wanted to
Um,
lick the rock, but instead you ate it.
No, it's not quite that bad. That
I am an
it's
adult. I
'cause he
can
rolled
control
a-
tried to
myself.
dislodge
rolled
the
an
rock
8.
with another rock.
He rolled an 8, so he didn't
Oh.
lick it, he ate it. 'Twas
That's
a
good.
jest.
It was
You-
good. It was good.
Oh, I caught up now. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You,
I'm very
what's the
tired.
opposite of inspiration? There will be no puns here.
Oh no. We're flying on the big boy Terry.
This is a serious actual. I can't even say that without laughing. Oliver,
Oh man.
it's kind of like at first it's like licking a 9-volt battery. You get that sort of like sort of
Uh-huh.
tingle, and then you realize this has been in so many pockets of so many grungy, dirty smugglers and pirates, and you're now tasting all of that.
Okay, but does it do any beeps or something? Like, does it? Do I interface with it in a different
It
way?
actually, as your tongue touches it, it sizzles a little bit, but you are not interfacing with it. No,
It tastes like exciting money.
you feel
Money.
a little nauseous. Not gonna lie, as you are assaulted by so many flavors that are not food.
Bored from his nest just goes,
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go. As if walking away will make us move faster. I guess he would just walk away from the, physically to the left a little bit.
oh man.
Is there a button that just says "go faster" or something? Like it's,
Not
It's like
in
when
your
you're playing
Honda
Mario
Civic
Kart
now.
on the Wii and you're like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Not on the big boy Terry now. This is an old ship. You know that within the galactic lifetime, space travel has been around for about 1,000 years now. There is interplanetary travel. There is arm of the galaxy travel, which is what your ship is equipped to do, and you are just on the cusp, especially in the Forge, of getting into intergalactic travel. There are definitely speedier ships. There are definitely shinier ships than the one that you have, than the big boy Terry. But this can get you from arm to arm, assuming that you can find sufficient fuel and maybe the occasional star to power up your solar sails. think it's time to make it a little more interesting.
I was gonna say, like,
Ooh.
I would take this more seriously than I think we've taken any sort of a trip or jaunt. So I would be crossing all my ship T's and dotting all the ship I's and making sure that we're good on, I don't know, peanuts and solar fuel and
Peanuts.
all the things that are
Peanuts and solar
necessary.
fuel.
All the necessary things. In the future, peanuts are what fight scurvy.
Yeah. In this alternate universe,
space scurvy.
Prove me wrong. I don't know. Like,
no, that's canon.
I'm not proud of it, but
It's
Oliver-
really unfortunate for people with nut allergies. They just
Oh, no.
you just get
horribly
scurvy.
you get
Scurvy.
space scurvy.
Your limbs float away, like toes just
No.
float away.
No. Speaking of, you do have 4 arms or 4 legs and an arm on the deck. If anyone wants to take care of that.
That
I
seems
will
like a
say-
job for our kobold.
The poor guy. As Oliver is dealing with the aftermath of licking Jeff Rock, ESD,
Thank you.
you know that the ship has the equivalent of a chronometer so that you can keep to a regular sleep-wake cycle, especially out in the empty where there is no light. There is an odd sort of wave of energy that passes over the ship. That chronometer is now reading about 8 hours into the future. And you were a bit a ways from the scythe, from your arm of the galaxy. You can tell that you are now instantly at a different viewpoint than you were moments ago. The galaxy is not in the right spot, and the compass is now pointing away from the direction you were heading.
Like my compass or like the ship's
Your
actual
compass.
Oh. Someone else like this.
Absolutely not.
No.
I am incapable of looking, but I can interface. As I pop my face again.
This counts in my brain. This counts as the same thing. So.
Oh my
I'm
god.
just-
Make a toughness check, Calvin.
I just want to know. This is the equivalent of science for me. This is.
I have
I
impulsive
admire
in my character sheet, so there we go.
Excellent. With that 14, you do your best to impart onto the device, onto Jeff Rock DSD, that you are attempting to lick it. It gives that sound back, but you are still able to access the information within. You are still in the same position in space. You just seem to be somewhere different than you were moments ago.
Did anything
Hmm.
change? Like nothing changed. Like
The chronometer is 6 hours or 8 hours in the future, I think I had said. 8
yeah.
hours in
I
the future.
I flash the galactic time on my face.
It is also 8 hours in the future.
It seems we went through some sort of jump.
You can go ahead and make a presence roll if you want to try to suss out what what happened.
I want to like
Yeah.
meditate the orb. Just sit and hold it.
Want to ponder the orb.
My dad got me ice orbs for my birthday, and I love my little ice orbs so much. I can make all my orbs.
Calvin, with a 12, that does meet it. You know that in the empty, away from more civilized areas, away from the structure of stars and of gravity, sometimes anomalies happen, gravitational anomalies, or something a little more outside the realm of science. You deduce that you have just encountered one such anomaly. No real cause for it, just that's where your ship was headed, and now you are elsewhere. Sort of a mini wormhole situation.
As some entertainment I heard about likes to say, we went through some sort of timey-wimey.
Ariel's
Okay.
like, a what? A what?
I was trying to pull from what the cool kids say. And timey-wimey. We went through an anomaly that launched us forward.
Ariel's trying to just 000101 just flashing across like the white irises. They're trying to compute what timey-wimey might mean.
Who has
Ariel
the thing?
doesn't watch TV.
No.
Who has the thing
Calvin
now?
has has
Oh,
Jeff Rock.
I take it up from my head. Shall I continue hanging on to Jeff Rock.dsd?
Is anybody else gonna lick it?
I could lick it.
No, Tim, no.
You got to lick it.
No.
Go back to what you were doing.
Do we think the anomaly was from this, or
I'm gonna look at my compass.
To determine that.
I'm gonna look at my compass and just ask God. Did I lick us into a different place in time?
Make a spirit roll.
I could have worded that real different.
Did I lick us into a new space?
Did I lick us into?
That's the
Lick
feature.
us?
That's the show.
Oh man.
It got below a thing, so it's either a no or a unclear. It would either tell me no or it would either be unclear. I didn't roll high enough for it to work.
You reach out and attempt to commune, and all you get is the compass sort of like almost angrily, like waving in the direction it wants to go, almost ticked off that you are no longer heading in the right direction by some means. You don't get that this was its doing.
All right, licking it won't further the plot.
Aww.
Never mind. So.
I will say a reminder is being out in the deep depths that we are, anomalies are bound to happen. And sometimes we may cross through one without anticipation.
Okay.
It seems like then the best matchup is to get back onto course.
Are we wildly do we need to really hook right and then go off? Or are we 8 hours closer to where we need to be?
You actually wouldn't know. There's no sense of distance, just direction.
Okay.
If the compass was pointing northwest, you are now facing south by southeast. So you are almost completely turned around.
Oh, I would go up to the wheel and kick the hell out of it to spin that baby. I'm gonna be like,
Make a strength check.
Okay.
I feel like we should all make strength checks, see if we don't get knocked over.
Yeah, we'll see how well this goes.
Oh, you guys are lucky that there weren't people still on the ship when it was my turn, because I was gonna ask, will flipping the ship take the people off and keep us on? And but we defeated everybody beforehand. Should I flip the ship? All right, strength. All right, I go to kick the wheel, right? But I kick the center column part of the wheel.
You're the openings between the spokes. Your foot.
Oh God, am I in the wheel? Oh shit! Oh, I'm in the wheel now.
Tim sighs and helps you get your foot out. Your ankle is definitely.
I'm an adult. Leave me alone.
I'm an adult too.
I shove him out of the way and I crawl out of the wheel.
Oh man, I just want it to be known that this is the second show in a row where Ginny has had a character that yelled, "I'm an adult." Oh man.
Ariel mutters under their breath, "It's almost like he's trying to convince himself."
After helping you get out of the wheel, Tim will where do you want to go? I can do it. This is my job, Captain.
I point angrily in the right direction.
Okay, and he will very easily direct you in the right direction. No one got flung overboard.
The captain kicked the wheel really cool. But what's written down is the captain kicked the wheel really cool, and that you heard a screech, almost like a screeching sound of tires for no reason. That's the way it's written in the story. Yeah, I Tokyo drifted in space.
Part of me is what happens when you write something in the story that is canonically untrue. Does that backfire at all?
I don't know. God hasn't said anything yet.
This is why you don't hear from God, is that they don't like the lies.
I haven't gotten any editor's notes. So, you know.
God's just waiting on your first draft.
God.
Yeah,
God's gonna
first
come to
draft.
you in a dream and say, "I have some editor's notes for you."
I meant to ask, am I published already? Do I have multiple things, or am I just still working on the one? And we
I
didn't.
think it's still just the one.
Okay,
You have
that
multiple
makes sense.
volumes, but it's all one story.
Yeah, this works.
You've been at this for a while. You came
Mhm.
with the ship.
Yep.
Before it was Big Boy Terry. It is
I know
gone by
why
other
it got
names.
named that. Yeah. Or I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
We're going the right direction now.
As you head off
Yep.
into the empty, you are free to settle down, do some last actions. What would you all like to do as you sort of wind down for the day? It's hard to say day, as the chronometer creeps towards midnight. What y'all doing?
Who wants to be the one? Who's gonna?
I don't sleep. So for me, this is like whatever. I do respect that other folks may need to sleep, so I probably go off, not in a like skulking alone way, but just in a other people might want to like wind down for bed. So I'm gonna let them go do that. And I am processing the information that I have received from the part of me just wants to call it the orb from the orb, even though it's not an orb, from the jeffrock.dsd, because I want to say it, even though Ariel doesn't. That I just want to parse through and do more detail-oriented work.
Ooh. Go ahead and make a presence roll to see if you can just get a little more as you're going back over your notes and what you had originally deduced.
Okay. Oh, that's not good. That's a 4.
Oh, yeah, it's just, you've never seen anything like jeffrock.dsd. This is odd. It is, I mean, you use the word alien because this is a galaxy, but this goes beyond anything you have ever seen. It is old in a way that isn't really revered anymore. Things come so fast and so new now that antiques and relics just aren't really a thing. Those are for museums. No one keeps those. Your ship in and of itself is an oddity amongst a lot of crews. But
Yeah.
that's the only thing that really strikes you extra odd is how old this is.
Okay.
And yet how clean it doesn't look scuffed. It is still shiny, and you can make out those very fine grooves in its surface.
Okay.
What's everyone else doing as we wind down?
I think if Ariel is kind of going over some of the orb stuff, Ben would wander over and just says,
What plan?
I don't know. I've never seen anything like this before. We might have to recruit Calvin again to look through this, because I'm not built to process this information.
Ben just nods and kind of opens his mouth and points in, and he goes,
Lick.
Oh,
I
please.
slowly come into frame, like,
Please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
He just opens his mouth wider and so that you can see into it, and then closes it. And like, he's a rock man, so like it's hard for him to have emotion on his face, but there's like a little bit of sadness in his eye. He only has the one eye, but there's a little bit of sadness in his eye, and he just goes,
No tongue.
You wouldn't be able to lick it in the first place, then.
No lick.
Oh. Maybe he'll let you hold it.
kind of looks down at his hands. You see, he kind of like clenches them and just shakes his head.
I take his big rocky hands again. And how big? How big are these hands?
If Ben stands like fully up, like he kind of walks kind of like a gorilla, But if he were to stand at full height, he'd probably be about 8 feet tall. I picture him very much like kind of like Hulk build, but with like a little bit of smaller legs, like somewhere between the Hulk and a gorilla.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. What do I? Oh, I have like one of my things is like a crystal shard, the stuff that we rolled for, like our random stuff. So I take it, and it's not that big. It was probably like yay big. This is my citrine on my desk, and I just place it like into his hand, and I go practice.
Aww.
He, as gently as he can, closes his hands around it.
Make a strength roll, and
he's
want
not
low.
gentle.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just a shard. It's just a shard.
Of course.
That is a non-natural 20.
Wow.
Like
it shatters.
He tries to be so gentle about it, and immediately there is just like a crunching sound from inside of his hand. I think he immediately opens up his hand and just sort of slowly lowers it down to you, and he's just like,
Bad.
No, not bad. It's not bad. It just is. It's not bad.
Broken.
It's just a rock.
Ben kind of like stands up a little bit and then like hits his chest a little bit, and he just goes,
Just rock.
and he like lumbers away to like lay on the other side of the ship.
And Ariel's like, just, well, fuck.
How do we make the rock monster the most tragic character?
Oh man,
Hunter and I have been sending messages.
I love it.
I don't know if any of you I don't know if any of the other players listened to the like Spotify playlist I made for Ben.
It's so sad.
It's an emo boy playlist
Oh my
for
God.
sure. Like it's a sad playlist.
Poor Ben. As we pan away from that really inadvertently tragic moment, Pyrrhic, how are you winding down for the evening?
I think I'm checking out all those limbs I chopped off. Just kind of seeing if there's anything worthwhile about them. I'm not picking them up or
Oh.
cleaning them. Like that's not my job. But if there's anything worthwhile on or about them,
Make a presence or toughness check, please. These are limbs.
I am proud of my job.
You know that there are, as you are a multi-limb species, it's not uncommon for there to be quadrupedal, centaur-like alien races, as this one very much was. It was almost like a praying mantis with arms up top and a bunch of legs on the bottom. That's all you really know. You can't quite pinpoint the species or if any of what you have here is salvageable for anything useful, whether it be food or biomaterial for your ship's energy source. They're limbs and they're starting to smell a little bit.
That's unfortunate. And she just walks away from them. She's
You don't even like toss them over, but they're just gonna. That's someone else's problem.
That's someone else's job. I removed them from the body. Someone else can remove them from the ship.
You've done your part of that transaction.
Actually.
Oh my gosh. Calvin, how are you winding down?
Yeah, so Calvin as an energy ball light form doesn't necessarily need to sleep, but their android body does need to repower. So the pink hues of light on the body turn into like a tealy blue as it goes into a power recovery mode. The chest plates on the torso open up to reveal the cavity in which Calvin sits in a canister as a bright magenta energy ball. And to look at him, it's almost like looking into a little tiny star. And that canister just pops open, and Calvin just goes around in a little buzz around their body.
So cool.
That's adorable. I love that. Oh, that's so cool. So the body itself is resting, but Calvin, the energy ball, is still up and at him?
Yes.
Oh, fascinating. What is the energy ball doing? Are they looking into stuff, or are they just like wandering, or?
Oh, yes. Calvin becomes far more curious when they're out free as a little energy ball. To approach, you do get a feeling of warmth coming off the energy. You hear the high-pitched buzz, almost like a cicada chirp. Which that's the only way Calvin can communicate when they're out, is in buzzes. Yeah, they're just now a little floaty ball guy.
That is so cute. I love that so much for Calvin. As you're kind of floating about and flittering about, you know this ship. You've been here. You know where all the good cozy spots are when you're in this form. You're just having a good time. Yes. Oh. We love Calvin in all their forms. As Calvin's sort of floating around and enjoying this sort of freedom while their body rests, Oliver, what are you doing as you wind down or don't wind down? I feel like Oliver's had a day.
I'm with a plank balanced on my knees as I'm wrapping up whatever notes I have to get out of my head so I can even try to not think about anything. So the page is just very messy notes with arrows and what looks like the Jeff Rock DSD, but an arrow. And has anybody ever seen Bakugan? How they kind of like unfold to be like a little, almost like a transformer. I draw what like Jeff Rock's humanoid form would look like in the story if I had to like. So it's like, so imagine a Bakugan, right? So it's kind of like that. And I'm clearly falling asleep. Like you can see my physicality going. So I'm just drawing by the light of drawing by Calvin's light, like as my body's kind of winding down.
Every time they pass by.
I realize that I realize that once the light comes back, that my pen is over here. I'm like, oh. And I come back to the page. It comes back. It's like, oh no. And then eventually it would just be like a child, like just asleep on the deck.
Just conks out. As we
just conked out, drawing a Bakugan.
As we sort of pan away from this very sweet scene, as everyone is winding down for, again, it's not quite night, but the chronometer striking midnight, we pan away from the ship, and the audience would see, not you all, almost as if it were a movie, as your ship recedes into the distance, the hull of another ship enters frame. And that's where we're going to leave it for now.
Rosie, no, please.
Don't you end me on Bakugan, damn it! Like, damn it! That was it. That's right. That was the last thing I did.
Yep.
Draw a Bakugan.
You have to live with that choice.
Son of a bitch! Damn it.
Until next time, I hope that you all have a wonderful day, night, wherever you are. Be good, be safe. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.